Good morning to all the honorable judges, teachers, and all my fellow friends. Today, I'm going to tell you a story about Puss in Boots. An old man, when he died, left all his worldly goods to his three sons. The elder son had a windmill, which earned their living. The middle son had a donkey, which helped with their work. The younger son was left with the family cat. What on earth am I going to do with a cat? How will I survive? He will in despair. But this was not an ordinary cat.
Never fear, good master. If you can get me a pair of leather boots and a drawstring bag, I'll make sure that neither of us will starve.
So, the son spent his last penny on some boots and a bag for his cat. Then, Puss set to work right away. He ran towards the nearest field to pick some dandelion leaves to put into his bag. Then, he set his bag as a trap and waited. Soon enough, 2 plump rabbits hopped into the bag to eat the leaves. Clever Puss closed the bag, slung it over his shoulder, and headed straight towards the king's palace.
My good king, said Puss, I have one to give for you from my master, the Duke of Carabas.
Of course, the king was very pleased and impressed with the talking cat. Especially, he returned the next and the next day with more tastier and delicious gifts he caught in his bag. After some gift-giving days, Puss spoke to his master.
You must come with me today. You are going to see the king.
But I'm so scruffy, cried the young man.
I have a cunning plan, said Puss.
Then he took his master to the pond and told him to take off his clothes and dive in. Then Puss hid the man's ragged clothes. Soon, as Puss knew he would, the king and the princess rode by in their carriage.
Help! cried Puss. Thief has stolen my master's clothes! The Duke of Carabas has nothing to wear!
Of course, the king called for some royal clothes, and the young man was dressed finer than ever before. The princess thought the young man looks very handsome in his grand clothes. Please come in and ride with us, she invited him. Now, Clever Puss had to act fast. He ran ahead of the carriage to the field where the men were harvesting.
When the royal carriage passes this way, he ordered, you must tell the king that all this land belongs to the Duke of Carabas, the finest master to work for it.
Then, when the royal carriage passes this way, the king shouts out the window,
who owns this land?
The Duke of Carabas, the best master in the country! Then, Puss ran even ahead of the carriage until he reached an ogre's castle. He banged on the ogre's door until the ogre answered. Bang! Bang! Bang!
I hear, said Puss, that you are a very great and magical ogre. Is it true that you can turn into a lion or a bear whenever you want?
Bang! The ogre disappeared, and instead, a great lion stood in front of Puss. Yikes! But I bet a great lion like you could not turn into a tiny mouse. Bang! Where the lion stood, there stood a tiny mouse, which was a big mistake. Puss gobbled him out in flesh, as cats do when they see mice. Puss got into the castle and made himself at home. He carried off all the horrible ogre ornaments and pictures and marched outside just in time of the royal carriage passes by.
Hello! cried Puss, waving at the king. Please do come in my master's house and have a cup of tea.
As you have imagined, the young man was quite surprised at this. However, he jumped down of the carriage and led his hand to the princess to help her down. Please come in my home, he bowed, wondering how Puss has managed it all by himself. Of course, the king and the princess thought the young man was very rich on a home like this, and how kind he was, and what a great master he seems to be.
My great duke, said the king, I will be most honored if you will marry my daughter and be the prince of this land.
Whoa, that was the result, wasn't it? Next time, if you thought you got the worst gift among them all, just wait and see
what things turned out to be. Puss in Boots was certainly a great friend to have around. Thank you.